In a mansion carved from glass and marble, where silence reigned louder than love, CEO Lee Zone, a man known for his ruthless business acumen, prepared to celebrate his daughter's birthday. Chefs from five-star hotels, flown in from around the world, filled the kitchens. Each dish was an artwork, precise in taste, extravagant in cost. Yet amidst all the fragrance, the air was tense. Little Rui, the CEO's young daughter, sat cross-armed at the head of the table. Plate after plate arrived. French soufflé, wagyu tartare, lobster bisque. She pushed every dish away. "No, it doesn't taste like home," she said quietly. Silence fell over the table. The chefs exchanged nervous glances, one was even trembling. Everyone knew pleasing the CEO's daughter was like passing judgment from the heavens. Outside the mansion, drenched from the rain and clutching a food container wrapped in a towel, stood Yukio, a humble village girl who had once saved a housekeeper from the streets. Today, she was delivering food not for money, but to return a favor. The security guards tried to turn her away, but fate had its plans. Just then, Madame Zhang, the aging housekeeper you had helped, appeared and rushed over. "She's with me." "Let her in," she insisted. Reluctantly, Yu was allowed into the mansion, the humble, soaking girl with barely polished shoes. Stepping into a world of chandeliers and porcelain, her hands trembled slightly as she opened the food box. It wasn't pretty, just a simple stir-fried rice with hand-cut pickled vegetables. But the aroma lingered in the room like a memory. By accident or fate, little Rui caught a whiff of the dish and turned her head. "What's that smell?" she asked, almost offended by how real it was. Without waiting, she took a bite from Yu's box. Silence, then. She chewed again, slower this time, and then something rare. Something priceless happened. She smiled. This tastes like what my mother used to make," she whispered. The room froze. Even CEO Lee raised his head. He hadn't heard his daughter say the word mother in over a year. The chefs watched in disbelief as the little girl devoured every bite of the plain stir-fried rice. Later that evening, CEO Lee summoned Yu to his study. He was a man of few words, his expression cold, his suit tailored with sharp angles like his decisions. "You cook the rice?" he asked. Yu nodded respectfully. "Yes, sir. We're not a professional chef. No, I just cook with heart." The CEO studied her. Most people fidgeted in front of him. This girl? Humble? But something about her, grounded. For the first time in years, he didn't feel like a master evaluating. A servant, but a student in front of a forgotten truth. Yu returned home that night to her tiny apartment in an alley where rain leaked through the roof and gas sometimes gave out. She didn't complain. She lit a candle, made instant noodles, and scribbled recipes in an old notebook passed down from her grandmother. "My food may not look like much," she murmured to herself, "but it's my language." She never knew that across the city, a billionaire CEO was thinking about her. And her rice. It's not the spice, not the garnish, but the soul behind the spoon. And Yu Qiao's soul. It just entered a world that didn't even know it needed her. The next day, an official car stopped outside Yu's door. "You are requested by CEO Lee. He wants you to prepare lunch for his daughter," the driver announced. At first, Yu thought it was a joke, but it wasn't. Soon she found herself back at the mansion, sleeves rolled up, wok in hand, as she cooked. She noticed servants peeking from the hallways, murmuring. But she didn't care. She wasn't here to impress anyone. She was here to remind a little girl what warmth tasted like. Yu served a bowl of egg drop soup, a dish Rui's mother used to make. As Rui took the first sip, her eyes teared up. This is exactly like Mama's. CEO Lee stood silently nearby, watching not just his daughter's joy, but his own heart unraveling. That night, he ordered all the gourmet chefs to leave. From now on, he said, only she will cook here. Everyone gasped. Yu Qiao, the village girl with no pedigree, had become the personal chef of one of the city's most powerful families, but this was only the beginning. In the world of cold marble and steel deals, One woman warmed a home with a dish. She didn't chase fortune, but fortune had found her.